Nearly 2.5 years after assuming office, the NRM government under the leadership of President Yoweri Museveni has been held accountable for promises made to voters. A 49-page report authored by the civil society organizations has damned government in the areas of service delivery. The report also faults government for losing the fight against corruption. It questions government's zero corruption stand, underscoring the emergence of a raft of corruption scandals. The report was just as ruthless while assessing government's decision to halt operations of the anti-corruption court on account that it was not properly constituted.
While there was a commitment that they will be raising awareness about the Access to Information Act and all the other areas of corruption, I think those of us who have been raising awareness through things like the Black Monday movement have actually got a backlash where we are being told that we are inciting violence. So you can see that there is a regression.
Government spokesperson Ofono Pondo, however, questions the report's findings.
Where do you look at the pillar for fighting corruption? You look at the political will. The political will is reflected in the legislative agenda of government. Have you enacted laws that prevent, that detect, that apprehend the corrupt? Yes, we have done so.
On strengthening Uganda's agricultural backbone, the report offers another stinging assessment. It says that there is not much to boast about, since only 34% of the farmers receive the NAD services. The report also highlights that government has not done enough to improve the education services, citing failure to pay teachers' salaries, the teacher-pupil ratio that still stands at 1 to 100. The NRM Manifesto rather promised to downscale the ratio to 1 to 45. That said, the report captures a few positives, such as the construction of some 3,000 classrooms.
Government has scored well in terms of quantity, that there has been an increase in enrollment in primary and secondary, but in terms of quality, the score has not been all that significant.
Improving the health sector system is another area that has left a lot to be desired. The report cites that maternal mortality has increased to 438 per 100,000 live births. It, on the other hand, applauds government on the ground made in poverty eradication through use of SACCOs to empower the citizens. The report also shows that the number of people in SACCOs grew to 1.2 million people, following a 54 billion shilling support from the government fund in December 2012.
We want to create an environment of issue-based politics, instead of name-calling and abusing each other, which is the character of Ugandan politics. At least through this report, we are able to go back to the issues and say, this is what you said in your manifesto, this is what the Citizen Manifesto did, this is what empirically people think you have achieved.
Another area that government has scored well is infrastructure development, where 518 kilometers of road were fully completed. A number of bridges have also since been rehabilitated and constructed. Elsewhere, major highways are also currently under construction. Civil society pins poor performance in some sectors to delayed release of funds from the Ministry of Finance.
People are talking about money coming to a local government 1 month to the end of the financial year. And therefore, you can't do much in a month's time. And that also breeds the opportunity where people now start looking for ways of cutting corners to deliver services.
The Treasury will now be releasing money in a quarter system. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. Previously, they were releasing on a monthly basis. We think once we release money on a quarterly basis, there will be no excuse for the technocrats who are doing the implementation to say there is no money.
But as the public continues to scrutinize the report, government remains adamant that it is on track to fulfill its manifesto.
We do not recognize Citizens' Manifesto because the NRM had its own manifesto, and therefore the government is implementing only one manifesto. The manifesto of the NRM, which won power, is what was translated into policy.
Solomon Serwanjja, NTV.
Doreen, are you ready with me?